Today we're going to be discussing the one really bad shot that you more than likely hit out there. It's that slice. Now I'm here today to help you stop it in just 2 easy shots, in 2 easy drills that you can do straight away, hardly thinking about it, unbelievably simple. Before we get onto the nooks and crannies of curing that slice, I want you to please hit that subscribe button. It'll massively help you get better at this game with some really simple, easy things that you can do to massively improve your game. Here we go. Now, I want you to focus on 2 very simple things, simple elements to help you stop that ball going out to the right. Because first of all, we need to know and understand why that ball goes over to the right-hand side. And it's usually, more than likely, 90% of the time, it's because that face of that golf club is pointing there at impact. It's not necessarily because you're aiming over there, because that's the first thing you blame. You think, oh, I'm aiming over there. My ball's gone right, so I must be aiming over there. No, because the golf ball couldn't give a toss where we're aiming. It only cares where our club face is pointing. So at impact, your club face must be pointing over to that right-hand side. But the problem is impact's 0.15 of a second, 0.02 of a second in duration. So how on earth do we know where that club face is? Well, the ball tells us. But during the swing is where we can improve the position of that club face. So here's number 1. I want you to check where your club face is on the way back, okay? So I want you, if you really struggle with the slice, if you struggle with that, seeing that ball going right, I want you to feel when you're halfway back being the shaft parallel to the ground, I want you to feel that club face and look at that club face pointing down to the ground. That's technically what we call closed. This is more open. A lot of people would say this is square because look, the toes pointing up to the sky. For me, this is a little bit more open. This is disastrously open and we've got to make a massive compensation to get that club back in. So rule number 1, on the way back, I want you to feel that club face pointing down. Now, I don't mind seeing that ball. If you're prone to majority of your shots going to the right and you try this, I don't mind if you hit a few balls, I don't mind seeing that ball go left. As long as it doesn't go right. That's the most important thing. We're trying to stop here. We're trying to stop that ball going over to the right. So I want you to feel that club face. Have a look and see where your club face is on the way back. You might be surprised, but just do it nice and slowly and see that club face pointing down. If it's not, make sure it does point down. Because if you look at that club face and it's pointing up to the sky, oh, you know you're in trouble. That golf ball is going to go way over to the right-hand side. So check where your club face is on the way back. Number 2, check where your club face is on the way through. Because again, you can have that more really closed look on the way back here, but my word, through the golf ball, that club face can still be pointing up to the sky, especially if you're prone to really feel like you're trying to guide the club down there. You should allow that club face to rotate. So I want you to feel not only on the way back is that club face pointing down, but on the way through, I want you to double check and see where that club face is. Because again, that club face, ideally on the way through, should be pointing again down towards the ground. There's a commonality here, isn't there? Face down, face up, face up. We don't want face up and face up. No way, we're not going to get any distance at all. Ball's going to go high right every single time. We want the face down and that face down. Because not only will that ball not go right at all, that ball for very little effort will go really a long way. Why? Because we're taking the loft off of that golf club, so it's going to bullet fire through the sky. If we did the opposite, if we had that face open and face up, that ball's just going to pop up in the air and go virtually no distance whatsoever. So double check, where's your club face on the way back? Ideally, it should be pointing towards the ground if you hit the ball right. And then on the way through, I want you to check where your club face is on the way through. That club face should be pointing down to the ground on the way through. Again, if your ball is going to the right. And then you can work your way up to full swings and hopefully, if you do it correctly, that golf ball, it ain't going to go right. You've got no chance. Guaranteed no shots to that right-hand side of that golf course.